Smile for the camera. Three little words that can make some of us feel an instant wave of anxiety. You know the feeling, right? That moment at a party, a family gathering, or even just a casual hangout, when someone pulls out their phone. For many, it's a fun, spontaneous moment. But for others, it's a signal to discreetly back away, to offer to be the one taking the photo, or to just awkwardly stand there, feeling a strange sense of dread. Have you ever wondered why that is? Why do some people genuinely dislike having their picture taken? Is it just shyness? A lack of confidence? Or could there be something deeper, something more psychological at play? We often dismiss it as a simple preference, but the aversion to being photographed can reveal fascinating insights into our minds, our memories, and our sense of self. What if I told you that this feeling isn't just about not liking how you look, but about how you see the world and your place in it? Stick with me, because we're about to explore the hidden psychology of those who shy away from the lens, and the reasons might be far more relatable than you think. You might just discover a new way of understanding yourself or someone you know. Let's start with the most obvious reason, but let's look at it through a psychological lens: self-perception and the critical inner voice. For many, a photograph isn't just a picture. It's a mirror that freezes a moment in time, a moment where they are confronted with an image of themselves that often doesn't align with who they feel they are on the inside. This isn't simple vanity. It's often connected to what psychologists call body dysmorphic disorder on a more extreme scale, or more commonly, a negative body image. Think about it. When you look in the mirror, you're in control. You can adjust the angle, the lighting, your expression. It's a fluid, moving image. A photograph, on the other hand, is static. It's a single, unchangeable frame. And for someone who is already their own harshest critic, that single frame can become a canvas for all their insecurities. They might see a crooked smile, eyes that look tired, a posture that seems awkward. The camera captures a version of them they can't control, and their brain, conditioned by years of self-criticism, magnifies every perceived flaw. It's like the photograph confirms the worst things their inner voice tells them. I remember a friend of mine, let's call her Sarah, who would physically cringe whenever someone tagged her in a photo. It wasn't because the photos were bad. She was a vibrant, beautiful person. But she once told me, "That's not me. That's not how I see myself." What she was really saying was that the person in the photo didn't match the person she wanted to be, and the disconnect was painful. This leads us to another fascinating psychological concept: the spotlight effect. This is a cognitive bias where people tend to believe they are being noticed more than they really are. When a camera is pointed at someone with this tendency, it feels like an actual spotlight is shining on them, making them the center of everyone's attention and judgment. They're not just worried about how they will see the photo. They're consumed by how others will see it. Will people notice that pimple? Will they think my laugh looks fake? This fear of social evaluation can be paralyzing. It's the brain overestimating the stakes of a simple picture. Imagine you're at a wedding. The photographer is trying to get a group shot. Someone who dislikes photos isn't just standing there. Their mind is racing. They're acutely aware of their own body, their expression, the people around them. They feel exposed, vulnerable. The pressure to look happy or look natural becomes a performance, and the entire experience feels inauthentic, and stressful. The irony, of course, is that most people looking at the photo later will barely glance at them. They'll be looking at themselves or the overall group. But in that moment, for the photo-averse person, it feels like they are under a microscope. But what if it's not about insecurity at all? What if it's about something else entirely? Some people dislike being photographed not because they're afraid of how they look, but because they feel it pulls them out of the moment. This is where we touch on a more philosophical perspective. Think about a time you were truly present, completely absorbed in an experience. Maybe you were watching a breathtaking sunset, laughing uncontrollably with friends, or listening to a piece of music that moved you to tears. In those moments, you're not an observer of your life. You are living it. The act of taking a photo can shatter that. Suddenly, you're no longer in the experience. You're documenting it. You have to stop, pose, think about your appearance. The focus shifts from the internal feeling to the external image. For some, this feels like a cheapening of the experience. They would rather have a vivid emotional memory than a digital file on their phone. It's a conscious choice to prioritize being over appearing. This mindset is deeply connected to principles of mindfulness, the practice of being fully present in the now. These individuals aren't necessarily against photos, but they are protective of their authentic experiences. They understand that sometimes the most beautiful moments are the ones that are for your eyes and your memory only. This brings us to another deep psychological layer: memory and identity. Photographs have a powerful way of shaping how we remember the past. They can solidify certain memories while letting others fade away.